Hey guys, so today we're going to see how a John Wayne photo gets carved out onto a piece of wood. So to start this whole process, I took 4 pieces of soft maple and glued it up into a 2-foot by 3-foot sheet. And I like using soft maple because really it's what I have in my shop right now. And you know, I'm not a big fan of plywood when trying to do this process because plywood chips out a lot. You know, you really can't trust the glue in between the panels, in between the layers, and you know, I think it chips out. Now, there may be a better wood to do this. Please let me know if there is, but you know, I kind of like soft maple, maybe hard maple, maybe a little bit better, so it doesn't absorb any kind of paint during the process. But yeah, soft maple's yielded me pretty good results. So just glued up a panel of soft maple, got it all flat, and I'm gonna stick it on my 2x3 CNC. And whenever we're doing that, we have a 60-degree V-bit in there. And whenever it's carving out that, in the past, it's been very hard to see anything. And even when we're standing there watching it, it is so cool because we really can't see anything come to life. I mean, it's just a little bit of sawdust and the bits just kind of, you know, kind of barely going in and out, and so it's really hard to tell. So that may not be too revealing yet. So we're gonna do it on the CNC. It probably takes about 45 to 50 minutes on the 2x3. And then we're gonna move on to, and we're running on the 2x3 about 120 inches a minute, 130 inches a minute. It's kind of fast for that little CNC to be moving, but it works. Then we're gonna move on and come to, we're gonna put it on a big table and start painting it black, and we're gonna paint the whole entire thing black. I don't have any acrylic or latex, so I just paint it with oil-based black paint. And a keynote beforehand is after I make this panel, the soft maple panel, and get it all glued up, be sure you put 2 coats of clear coat on it. 1 to seal it up and 1 to actually build a little bit of a barrier. Because whenever you spray that black on it, you don't want it to spread and run and seep into the wood. That's why I'm using oil base. I think if you use water base, it may bleed a little bit in the grain since it's, you know, it would be able to absorb into the wood a little bit more. So I like to use oil base for this. But just make sure that you're putting at least 2 coats of clear coat on it before you even stick it on the CNC to get carved out. So after we take it off the CNC, we put it on the table, and we spray paint it black. We're gonna wait for that paint to dry a long time, just to really make sure that it's dry, and then we're just gonna sand it off. You can use whatever grit you want. For some reason, 180 grit actually takes it off better for me than 100 grit. So I use 180 grit. And yeah, and during the video, we hopefully will see it come to life before our very eyes. So that's gonna be kind of cool. There may be minor chips and minor little black lines and slivers where there may be a grain of wood that absorbs more paint than another grain, or some soft spots in there that may absorb more. You may see a little bit of streaking, but soft maple's a pretty clean face. So I'm excited to see what happens. So this whole process is probably gonna take about an hour and 30 minutes, hour to 2 hours, just to do the CNC milling and the black paint. Then the next morning I'll come around and sand it all off, and we'll see what we have. And then after that, which I'm not gonna show, I'm just gonna frame it up, and you know, hopefully it turns out first of all. But then I'm gonna frame it up and just hang it up in the house. So stay tuned, and thanks for watching. So we let it sit all night after painting it with the black paint. We painted it probably around midnight last night, and now it's 6 in the morning, so I figured it's time. It's been long enough, we can sand off the paint. And so what I'm about to do is sand off this guy right here to make sure that you know, I'm trying to stay out of too many of the low zones. The major low zone is like the hat. I'm gonna try to stay out of this too much with my 180 grit, so you know I don't screw it up. And maybe if I need a little bit of it, I'll go back to it and just hit it a little bit. But it was really cool yesterday whenever we were milling it out on the CNC. We couldn't see anything. We're like, oh my gosh, you know. And we bring it over here and we start cleaning it up with the wire brushes and start sanding it down. I just do everything with 180, make it pretty simple. And once we started painting it, you know, I really couldn't see it from this angle, but once you stood back and on the camera you can see it so well, his face starts to pop out. And whenever we watched the video, it was super cool. So I'm really excited to get started on this and see how it goes. So wish me luck, and hopefully the picture pops out as good as we're hoping for. I think it came out pretty good. I'm gonna continue cleaning up these edges. I'm gonna get some 100 grit out and clean up these edges some, even though I'm probably gonna cut it out, kind of frame it. I wanna get these black edges cleaned up and maybe hit it with 180, just a little bit more on the top at some places that I wanna hit a little bit more. But as far as the process goes, you kind of see the process. It's pretty simple. And I think it's turned out pretty good. I think it's really good. This picture does have a lot of dark on it, so there's a lot of different kind of peaks and valleys in there. You know, ideally, if I had just a giant, ideally if I had a drum sander to take all this off, which I do, but I was pretty nervous and I don't want to have to do a whole bunch of them. I'm happy with 5-inch orbital sander and just taking it off that way. But yeah, it's coming out good. So let me get some more sandpaper and keep cleaning it up.